Fucking love this song. It's too late. It's too late. Oh. There we go. Idaho. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Shadow-sama? このようなところでお会いできるとは。
It's awesome.
もしやお出かけするところでしたか？
Oh god.
失礼いたしました。
Dude, her boobs are big.
それでは。
They're always that big.
申し訳ございません。
She did.
つい裾を掴んでしまうのは私の癖でして。
Man.
ですが、その
Oh my fucking head!
もしお出
In
か
my
けされるの
face!
でしたら、
Fuck.
私もお供してよろしいでしょうか？
Yoroshi. Yay. Oh man. And they give you a lot of crystals. Oh shit. Why is there so much VTuber collab?
実験最終段
Oh
階。
shit.
アトミック。
Oh, what? Double pizza atomic? Oh my god. They try to make Ida more popular. I think that's what's happening. Inflict powerful debuffs and boost ally SP discount. That's pretty good.
ご
Goes out.
ざるのか。
Blonde samurai. Okay. When gazing bodyguard Kazama Iraha. Iraha. Damn, Sid New Year's is so godlike. I want the where's the summer? I thought that was a summer outfit for Zeta and I forgot who. It was somebody. Zeta and who? Well, let's do the dailies.
イータの研究が必要なことはわかるのですが、主様、お題は
Man, the hell?
失礼いたしました。何かお考えあってのことでしたか？
Give me this. How do I have so
主様
much
から
of
いただい
these?
たお題、一体
I don't even
ど
play
う
the game.
使えば。とりあえず金庫に主様、お題。さあ、行きましょう。
I can do this.
足が止ま
I
ってい
don't
る
think
よう
I
だけ
could do
ど、
that. I'm not
ま
strong
さか
enough for
怯え
that.
ているわけじゃないわよ。
I do this though.
時間の無駄だ。
Damn, 87. Holy shit. That's it. 3,000 gems. 87. Oh, come on, man. Should
す
log
べ
in
て分かっ
every
て
day.
おります。例の任務でいらした。
I don't like the shadow pass stuff.
順
It's
繰
just
りにこ
annoying.
なしていくのね。面白そうだわ。私も挑戦してみようかしら。
Okay. Who's Summer? Who got the swimsuit? This is Zeta and somebody else. Oh, you get a free VTuber. That's cool. No free Tentacus. That's Paige. Damn, do I save for do I
始まっ
save?
たみたいね。バカンスはこれでお開きね。
Oh my god, it's Aurora!
また日常に戻りましょうか。
Lambda! Oh my god. Lambda, Aurora, and who? Zeta.
青い空、この時期。僕の、いや、
そうね。
Speed up. It's Aurora. Damn it, man! I probably gotta get to the last episode, huh? I don't wanna play. There you go. God damn it.
もう終わり？まだまだ遊び足りなかったのに。
Can I at least see the pictures, please? I just want to see Zeta. Oh man. Damn, one day. Alright. Let's get Ada. Because I want Ada too, actually. I want her atomic if I can. I don't think I got Alpha Atomic. I only got Delta. Oh man, one more. Lexia. Come on. One more time. Last row. Okay. Come on. Oh, I get my head. It's so hard to smile. What does my head hurt? Oh shit. Please give me Ada. Ada Atomic. Pisu pisu. Voi voi. Oh my god. No! Alright, give me Claire. Give me Claire in a dress. Sweet Home Alabama. Alright, fine, I get Rose. God damn it. Man. You got a duplicate. I like Rose, but that's a duplicate for me. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
力が欲しい。これシャドウの見ている世界。
Dang it. I am Atomic! Damn, I really want fucking swimsuit Zeta. Fuck, man. I got no fucking Rose. Piss. Alright, what up, dudes? What up, what up? I should clear my thingy. Alright. Saber. I was listening to this. This is my usual tracks. This is like my favorite songs for this season. Class 1 Human. Tactic by Dalco. Class 1 Human, that's the ending song for whatchamacallit? Heavy Night. I like that one a lot by Riona. Love Me Forever, Otto. That's on that rhythm game. Crash by Nana Bon Nijuni. I think that's how you pronounce it. Whatever. 22/7. It's pretty good. Crasher Party Kira. That's my favorite song this year. This song, I've been listening to it ever since I first heard of it. It's been my favorite song ever since. It's been more than a month. I've been listening to this weekly. More than 2 months. I like this one a lot too. Brain Rot by Tokyo Manaka. That's a really good one too. It's my second favorite. Amala, I'm Alone in the World Honor one is really fucking good. Boy, Amala is really fucking good. And I like this one. Kotoko, Say Goodbye. Or Say Bye. I like that one a lot. Those were my favorite songs. Do 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 do. Let's do this one. Into the Night. Fuck it. You want to do the opening? Yeah, whatever. I kind of like this one. I think it's too loud. There we go. 59. I'm gonna turn it to 69 because of stuff. Let's go on Twitter first. What's on Twitter? You'll be too busy playing Grand Theft Auto 6? Bro, Grand Theft Auto 6 is not even out yet. Okay. He's gonna play Grand Theft Auto 6. There's a Korean version of Tsukihime for PS4 and Switch. Damn. Sasuke. Oh my god, I think I love this girl. Easter is pretty good too. Damn, there's something about Sasuke that I really like. I don't know what it is. She's pretty adorable. She's pretty adorable. My Marry Me with B. That was kind of cute. Japanese only. Tsukihime? God cat? What the fuck? What is this? And then just a regular shirt. I would buy that. Kami Neko. Key X-Weight Fly Studio Heaven Burn Red. Will conclude. Whoa! Holy shit! The main story! Heaven's Burn Red will conclude with its 6th chapter, which was Jun Maide playing from the start. The final chapter involves Squad 19A, where Saki Tezuda belonged to, and was also conceived from the start. Who's Saki? It's going to end. I wonder if they'll make an anime. Kind of hard. Not My Paradise music video. Dang, Heaven's Burn Red is gonna end. I should play that game again, huh? I should play it. It's kind of hard for me to play mobile games. Damn, man. Any visual novel news? Fan translation Kamitachi no Yoru is out. The translated Super Famicom team behind. Oh, I love that one. Otogiri Show. I would play it. I would play it. I like Otogiri Show. That one's a really fun visual novel to play. Yeah, I'll play it. Damn, Heaven's Burn Rate's gonna end. Damn, dude, I don't know how I feel. 3 years ago? Oh. This was a really fun visual novel. Even though I haven't completed it. It was a really fun visual novel, dude. And the gameplay's pretty good. My leg is itchy. Alright. Anything on the food? I didn't really eat that well today. Taco Bell is testing dessert version of crunchy wraps. I should have ate something. I got nothing to talk about. What anime came out today? Let me see. I didn't even check that out. I didn't watch any anime today. Oh, fuck. I forgot about this anime. Only one new episode came out, right? Maybe. I saw some stuff about this. I kind of want to watch it. All I saw was titties, though. I forgot why. I forgot why. Was it titties with this blonde girl? Maybe. I remember titties. I should pick this one back up again. I like it. It's about a blind girl. And she's cute. Alright. What time is it? You guys want to start playing right now? Damn, I kind of want to play this. What you got? Dang, dude. Summer Pocket. Godlike visual novel. Godlike. Kamige. Kamige. Okay. I don't want to go to popular. I checked popular release. I checked and it was porn. I knew it. At least they didn't show AI dicks. So, dang, Spider-Man 2. Is it fun? It has Venom. Venom's cool. You know what game I really miss? Man. What's that game called? Pocket Mirror. Fuck, dude. Pocket Mirror was really good. I like Pocket Mirror more than Goody Two-Shoe. That game was good. What a good game, man. I like it more than Goody Tissue. Everyone likes Goody Tissue more. They said it's like the best game for them. For me, I think Pocket Mirror is my favorite from this studio, whatever this studio is called. I like Pocket Mirror because it's like Course Party, but more puzzles and less story, which I really like. Yeah, 2021. Damn, Course Party 2 is never completed, right? It stayed in chapter 1 for 7 years. Chapter 1? How much it cost? $10? It's not even worth it, dude. It's only one chapter. Fucking bullshit. It was really good too. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. Like, why? It's outdated now. Doesn't look as good. I like it a lot. Too bad. Too bad. It's only one chapter. But yeah, it's more like Course Party 1 and 2. But it's more puzzly. I like the puzzles a lot. In a Pocket Mirror. It's a good one. It's a really good one. This left a really good impression. I would like to play more. But obviously in a different game. If they put more fillers in this game, I wouldn't like it. But I would like to play... You know, I think I like horror. I like horror anime games. There's something about horror anime games that's something I just like about it. I like this one too. Death End Request. This one is pretty good. Did I play the first one? I never played the first one. I'm gonna play the second one. What else was a horror anime game that I really like? Technically Chaos Child. I like that one a lot. It's a visual novel though. What else? Oh, you know I never play Hades. I should. I already bought it. What is this? They might have the Muv-Luv series. I still haven't played it. Oh yeah, Laishim. Haishin. I like this one too, even though it's perverted as fuck. It's pretty good. Damn, man. Yeah, I guess that's my thing, huh? I really like horror anime games. Like puzzle horror anime games. I don't like action too much. I don't know why. I think action sucks. Yeah, I like Side, even though it is Russian anime. I still like it a lot. I like that one a lot too. Damn, all the games I really like is horror, huh? Horror anime. What else? Obviously Pocket Mirror, right? You count this as anime? A little bit. Kinda. Oh yeah, I like this one too. Some people didn't like it. I like it. It was kind of good. I don't remember too much about it. I like this one. Sentimental Deathloop. That's it. There was this one too. This is technically a game, but it's also mostly a visual novel. Haven't played this one yet. What's that one called again? What kind of games they make? Oh, that's that perverted game. Kuriti. What's their newest game? Is that hentai? Is this? I can't believe it's hentai. I love ninjas, but I don't know. Oh my god. I don't know. I forgot. This isn't hentai, right? This is they're rated E for everyone. It's like borderline hentai. Magical nut. Oh god. Oh yeah, this one. Mystery solving adventure game with titties and ass. $20. I really like the live stream stuff. This one's kind of cool. This one was Monkey Paw, right? Number 2 was Monkey Paw. Number 1 was, I don't remember, just a mall or some shit. I guess they're both in a mall. This Minster definitely was pretty good. Oh, hotel? I don't remember. Oh, it's that fucking pig. Oh, it's kind of cool. What's this game? Roguelite deck builder? Oh, that's kind of interesting. Is it perverted as hell? Oh, it's kind of cool. Eh. Oh my god. Oh my! What the fuck? Oh my god. That's legal. That was not a dick, it was a crystal. What the hell? I don't know what to say. What the fuck? What else has Hey, when did that game come out? They have another game coming out, right? What's the other one? This one? They have another game coming out. Damn, that anime went and go. It was okay. Damn, these Russian guys never updated, did they? When did this game came out? Damn, these guys never update the game. What the hell? I'm scared to go to community sometimes. Never know. Hentai might be lurking. The Evil Within's the best game ever, right? Evil Within is so fucking good. I like it better than Resident Evil 4. I think Evil Within is better than Resident Evil 4. That might be a unpopular opinion. Dreadout was kind of good. I kind of like Dreadout. This is a Malaysian game, right? Or Singapore, I forgot. Malaysia and Singapore. Digital happiness. What else did I have? Man, I don't get it. This fucking Steam page sucks. Dreadout. Oh, they got a new horror game. I want to play horror. I don't know why. Oh, it's like visual novel-ish. Man, it's not that fun. Digimon Survive is pretty dark, right? I stopped playing it because I thought it was like a kid's game. I'm like, nah, I think I'm good on Digimon. I thought it was like, you know, I thought it's a kid's game. No one's gonna die. I heard people die in this game. Maybe. Isn't Course Party supposed to come out with something? Wasn't the devs of Course Party coming out with a game? Oh yeah, right here, Course Party 2. When did this come out? I forgot this game. I'll play it. When did this come out? Dude, it's fucking It's August. What happened? This thing was supposed to come out in like March or April. What happened to this game? I want to play it. It's supposed to be a continuation of Course Party 2 that did never finish. Oh well. Damn it, man. Alright. Alright, what else? Callisto Protocol. I have this game. Oh. How do you remove? Do I still have it installed? I still have it installed. What the fuck? Uninstall. Okay. Alright. Dang, I would do anything except play Maui. I don't know what I just talked about for 26 minutes. I just look at the timer. I'm like, oh fuck. It's been 30 minutes. I'm trying to look up more shit. Damn, this game suck ass. I hated this game. I hated this game so much. This game is everything you think I will like. It's haram. You dating sim. You get kids with the girls. But this game's so trash. I played it for 6 hours. Damn, that's more than I thought I played. I thought I was gonna play for like an hour. That game suck ass. Did it ever make anything besides Doki Doki? I think they only made Doki Doki. Is it all by the same dudes? Slay the Princess. Was that one good? I think people said this one was pretty good. Art Star is good. I think the problem is not voice acted though. Fuck, be careful. There's hentai. Yeah. Not into anything, honestly. God, why did it take me up there? You saw that? Fuck. It was took me to the hentai websites. Dang, I want more horror. I want more horror games. But I don't want just like any horror game. I want like anime. I want more anime horror. Even if it's made by ESL EU fellas. Like Pocket Mirror. Or what's that? Me-Side. Alright. I'm fine with that. As long as it's like anime art style. I'm fine with that. This one. I would like it to be voice acted too. I think after I'm done playing Mahoya, I might play Resident Evil 1. We'll see. Hopefully there might be a horror, anime horror game. Or maybe Japanese horror game. I kind of like Asian horror, right? There's something like Asian horror I kind of really like. I guess, you know, EU horror is not that bad though. Like Pocket Mirror was based on EU story, right? Like the Grim Tales and stuff like that. Not really, I guess. Not Pocket Mirror. That was Needy. Not Needy. Goody Tissue. Pocket Mirror was more... I don't know what Alice in Wonderland. What do you categorize that one? But... that one's pretty good. I don't like Silent Hill, man. Every time I look at Silent Hill, it looks like shit. Silent Hill 2 is $70. Silent Hill F is $70. Yeah. Looks like shit, the gameplay. I mean, it looks good, I guess, visually. Gameplay looks terrible. I prefer just no action, just puzzle. I think I like puzzle. I think puzzles and horror go hand in hand. If you add action element to the horror game, it's not as spooky, in my opinion. That's why I kind of like Mole a lot. Mole was really good. What? Doo-doo. Ammonia. Legacy. Alright, I'm ready. Oh, I could play Dead Space. Is this the remake or the original? I don't remember. Damn, part of me want to replay this game to actually play it. I dropped it, but I don't know. I kind of like it now. Damn, I wish this one was good. I didn't like it. It was too much reading. Too much reading, and the story got pretty anime. What's up, John? I didn't like this superpower shit. It turned into Higurashi. That's what it kind of did. Alright, where's Higurashi? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, E, F, G. How do you spell H? Oh, right here. That's what it kind of turned into. I didn't like the direction they were going. That's why I really like Course Party 2. They kind of go back to Course Party 1. Where it's like ghosts. I just like the ghost stuff. The ghost stuff is pretty creepy. Yeah, you saw how gory that was? Jesus. Damn it, this is a crime. That's a crime that there's only one fucking chapter. That is criminal. For 6, 7 years. Yeah, 7 years now. 7 years. Man, come on. Damn, I kind of don't want to play this. I'll be honest. There's something about this visual novel. I think it's just a lot of reading. I think that's what it is. But then I read 70 hours. I did 70 hours of White Album 1. Dude, White Album 1's the GOAT. No, I lied. That's White Album 2. But White Album 1 is pretty fucking good though. Damn, I really like Yayoi. I think that was my favorite girl. I don't remember. That was a good ass game. Damn, dude, how did I do 70 hours, 65 hours? I can't even do 20 to 40 hours of Mihoyo. I don't know. I feel like I might just drop this, on be honest. Part of me kind of want to drop it. 12. I'm halfway done though. Only 12. Plus that extra chapter, right? 13. I could just wait for the movie. I could just wait for the movie, honestly. There's something about Mihoyo I don't like. I don't know what it is. Something about Mihoyo. Damn. I gotta think. Mihoyo! Or do I play some games? Damn, Resident Evil's looking pretty good right now. Damn, I just wish it was more horror games. Horror anime. I was just talking about how much I miss Pocket Mirror. I'm like, man, Pocket Mirror was really good. I really liked it. It makes me want to stream every day. That's how much I liked it. I wanted to play it. I really like this one. Because it really reminds me of Course Party. Not that one. This one. The old one. And technically Corpse Party 2. And it made me remember about the other Corpse Party game. Oh, that's the old one. That's like the 2000 version. There's another Corpse Party game. This one. This was supposed to come out in March. Man. What the fuck? You know, I could replay one of the Haitian games. I guess I don't really remember the story, so I could probably replay it. Then 2021. Just replay it just to get one ending again. I did like it a lot. This was really fun. This one and this one too. I think number 2 was better, right? I don't remember. They both were pretty good. There's something about horror anime that I just like. I don't know why. It's very appealing to me. I'm going in circles again. Damn, this one was pretty good too. What was the other one I like? It was called something. Sentimental Deathloop. This one was pretty good. I probably wouldn't play it again, to be honest. It was kind of confusing. Damn, man. I don't remember why that chick killed people. But she killed people. Damn, dude. I could replay this game. This game was pretty good. I always like replaying this one. It's short, too. I don't know. Let me look up. Anime horror game 2026. What about this? Is there any good anime horror game? What's this? I don't like this type. The 3D stuff, like this one. I know it's gonna suck ass. I've been scarred too many times. Whenever I see this type of style of anime with like Code Vein, I automatically kind of dislike it because I never really enjoyed them. I don't know why. I think it's because it's too story focused. It's too heavy on the story, man. They put too much shit in the story. And I'm not invested in the story. I don't give a fuck. I just want puzzles. What else did I have? Parasite Eve? Whoa. Whoa. Parasite Eve. Really? Let's see. Is it out? Coming soon. Is this really like Parasite Eve? Oh, shit. Oh, that's kind of sick. That's sick as fuck. Alright, add it to the wish list. What else? What's this there? I don't like Fatal Frame. I think Fatal Frame sucks. I think Silent Hill sucks, and I think Fatal Frame sucks. I think old Silent Hill is good. Old Silent Hill fixed camera angles. I think it's good. New Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2 remake. Silent Hill F. Come on, man. That shit sucks. Horror anime is usually creative while the games are kind of bland. No, not for me. I think the reason I like horror anime is because it's more puzzle based. I just like puzzles. I don't like action that much. I think that's it. I just don't like action. Every time I play an action game, I get bored. Like I didn't like Code Vein. I didn't like Atelier. I don't like I don't like anime action. Okay. I don't count Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is not anime action. I think Ninja Gaiden is not anime action too. It's too cool. Damn, Nier's... That's anime action! I do like Nier. I like Nier a lot too, actually. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I like action if it's good. How about that? I like action if it's good. Man. Can I see upcoming games? Oh, I guess like this. That's that new shit. Oh, I gotta be careful. One of them's hentai. I think Swarm Bunker is. Damn, I gotta fucking... Does it tell you? Sexual content. That's hentai, dude. Korea. Oh, that's pretty funny. Your story. Devil prison nudity? No. No. No nudity on stream. Whoa, what's this? Sexual content? Damn, what's with all these Whoa! Oh, fuck! This come out August 14! Oh, I'm playing this! Alright, I got my next game. Damn, it's another visual novel though. Fuck! Another reading game. But it's good. This one's going to be good. I'm excited for this one. Yet the creator of Needy Girl Overdose. A dark visual novel. Oh shit. Alright, I'm ready. Damn, dude. I wonder how good this is gonna be. I'll play it. I'll play this one for sure. I'll play it day one. Damn, that comes out August 14? When's August 14? Next Friday. Okay. Alright, fine. I guess I'll play MiHoYo until then. Right? At least I could try to beat it. What's this one? Choose your own adventure? Interactive fiction? What else do we have? Is that Steingate reboot? I thought it came out already. It was not yet. 4 Lights. Indie visual novel. Oh shit! Mortal Shell? Pre-purchase? Mortal Shell come out August 20th. I'll play that. I'll play that one. Hey, there's a couple of good games coming out in August. I'll play it. Alright, yeah. Alright, I'm motivated now. Let's play MiHoYo. You can play motivated. Alright. Man, that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like 2 weeks until another game that I feel like playing. And then at the end of August is Mortal Shell 2. I want to play that. So I got a couple games. A couple. You wonder how long Other Sister? Needed Girl Overdose was under 4 hours. So it might be under 4 hours. It's a really short visual novel. It's short, but it's pretty good. At least to me. Needy Girl Overdose. The second day of exams ended, and Soshito was on his way back to the mansion. The road grew steeper and the woods thicker as he made his way up the familiar slope. People in town call it not a hill, but a mountain, simply because it took over 20 minutes to climb. This did not sit well with Soshito, from whom a mountain was something that could not be overcome so easily. The road was paved, for one thing, and the canopy overhead let in plenty of sunlight to guide the way. None of the inclines were especially steep, and no animals lurked in the underbrush. There was no chance of losing the way, no reason to worry about getting lost.
まだ未練ばっかりだ。
Sojiro quietly reprimanded himself for getting so wrapped up in his own little world. In the past few weeks since moving here, he had been constantly comparing the towns with his former mountain home. Normally he would not get upset over it, but in recent days since meeting Aoko, as it happened, he had become rather hung up on the differences. The reason for this eluded him, but he knew that Aoko was a force that could not be stopped. This naturally made him want to quicken his own pace. The mansion where they both lived was an antipathy of her lively personality. It stood out like a sore thumb, even in a town like Misaki. Some people said it was haunted. There was no ghost per se, but it was inhabited by a magician, so their claims were closer to the truth than they could have possibly known.
そういえば、幽霊と魔法使いっていうのはどっちが常識外れなんだろう。
Lost in contemplation as he was, the boy failed to notice how his own lack of familiarity with the city life played into the equation. In any case, none of his pondering changed what needed to be done. Tomorrow was the last day of exams. That meant he only had a little longer until Aoko stopped taking responsibility for his safety. If possible, today was going to be the day when the mansion owner accepted his continued residence there. Sojiro slipped between the trees encircling the mansion and walked down the naturally tree-lined avenue that led him to the front door.
よし。
Taking a deep breath, he stepped across the threshold. The drawing room was where he expected to find Alice. However, he found himself face to face with a most unexpected scene. A few steps in, he arrived at the large foyer extending from the mansion entrance, but one thing was clearly out of place. The foyer of the mansion was like a hall in a medieval castle. It was illuminated by the cold winter sun casting down through the skylight, unaided by artificial light. The wooden tiles smelled of the outdoor. And there was Alice, dressed in all black, huddled against a column so enormous it resembled a sharply cornered tree trunk. The mansion was quite literally supporting her frail body, like a mother lullaby or a gently rocking cradle. The heavy atmosphere within this old building suppressed even the slightest stir, almost as if warding away any disturbance to her slumber. There she slept in the shadow of home. Hidden away from outsiders, her sleeping figure was enough to mesmerize anyone who laid eyes upon her. Sojiro instinctively looked up at the ceiling out of sheer awkwardness. He wanted to surprise her, but not in this way. Her slender frame lay asleep by the fireplace. The scene was as beautiful as a painting, yet hard on his heart at the same time. Her slumber seemed breathless. She was too still, with not even a hint of movement. And yet, slumped against the frigid column under the cold winter sky, happiness appeared to be her blanket. A passerby would not be blamed for thinking she was in that most peaceful state of eternal slumber, death. Sojiro spoke to himself as he gazed idly upon her. Bringing her a blanket or something warm did not so much as cross the boy's mind. Instead, odd as it sounds, the first thing he thought to do was to go prepare some tea. He made sure to be as quiet as possible as he opened the drawing room door. On the table waiting for him were 3 pills. They were the medicine Aoko required him to take every day when he arrived home. Gulping down the vaguely sweet pill and continuing on to the kitchen, he selected a box of tea from among the many in the cabinet and brewed enough for 2 people. Alice was still asleep when he returned to the foyer. Careful not to make any noise, he crouched close to the ground. He was startled by how cold the floor felt through his pants. He thought it would be warmer here by the fireplace, but then again he recalled how Aoko had referred to it as useless hole in the wall. Well, what was likely the case was that neither she nor Alice knew how to use it properly. After taking the teacups from the tray and placing one in front of each of them, Sojiro carefully pulled his textbook on classical literature from his satchel.
青崎、怒ってたからな。
He could still see her angry face from this morning. The reason for her anger was still as much a mystery as the unusual look he saw briefly come across her face. In any case, one thing was certain: he needed to start studying for tomorrow. Thanks to Ako's instruction, today's exam went well enough, but tomorrow would be even more formidable challenge. After how angry she was this morning, he could not expect her to help him again tonight.
そのくせ点数悪いと怒るし、別に青崎が怒る筋合いじゃないと思う。
He complained under his breath as he cracked open his textbook. Apparently, he intended to spend his time in this fashion until Alice finally awoke. The sound of pages turning was the only audible noise in the grand hall. There was no ticking of clocks or rustling of leaves to disturb her sleep. After a few hours, Sojiro quietly rose to his feet. The light that filled the foyer was beginning to turn from white to red.
そろそろバイトの時間か。
He glanced again at Alice as he stretched his stiff back. She slept in perfect stillness as she had this entire time. Sojiro arched his brow in speculation. He had no idea what her normal sleeping schedule was like, so he had no idea as to whether he should wake her.
いや、青崎も帰ってくるだろうし、いらぬ世話かな。
As if reaching the end of the long train of thought, Sojiro gave a quick nod to his head, to took his leave of the mansion. Today work was a shift at a Chinese restaurant in Misaki's shopping district, the Mad Bear. The uniform has been made by someone with an obvious preference for garish colors. The orange apron was emblazoned with a cartoonish polar bear slashing a walk in two with his powerful claws. The design resembled warning signs about wild animal seen in the mountains and set out in Misaki for one-of-a-kind originality. This was the Chinese restaurant, the Mad Bear. Aside from its name and logo, the restaurant was the type of cheap, hole-in-the-wall dive that could be found anywhere. It faced competition from the ever-increasing number of chain restaurants, though it had managed to last longer than other dining spots, having received rave reviews on a regular basis. The Mad Bear prioritized the personal touch, focusing on its local client, LA, and thus made a point to offer home delivery. You have no idea what Alice's sleep schedule? She's probably taking a nap, not really sleeping. It had earned the affectionate moniker QKS, the Quick Killer Stop. Making these deliveries was Sojiro's responsibility for the time being. Places in Misaki within cycling distance fell under his domain, and the beyond that was handled by a more experienced staff member on the legendary 50cc King Salmon motorbike. But anyway. When delivery workers were not on deliveries, they spent their shift busting tables or washing dishes. The dinner rush was yet to come, and Sojiro and his fellow delivery boys were shooting the breeze while washing dishes in the back.
聞いてるか、しずき。聞いてるよ、木の実。
The two were elbow deep in the giant sink as they enthusiastically scrubbed. At least that was what they pretended to do while they gossiped.
和食のケニアだけじゃねえんだってよ。三崎町の大帝都にもメシアンにもその手の注文があったらしいぜ。
Oh, that's right. There's auto mode, boys.
そんなに肉が欲しいなら下市に行けばいいのにな。なんだって生肉だの大物の鮭丸ごとだのを出前させやがるのか。どうよ。こう露骨にヤバそうな話じゃね？ワニとかアザラシでも飼ってるんじゃねえかな、そいつ。
他に比べてみると確かに珍しい話だと思う。ところで木の実、ワニってなんだ？
ワニはワニだろう。だっせ、実物見たことないのかよ。まあ俺もねえけどな。今度ガクガク動物ランドのアフリカ特集ビデオを貸してやるから見とけよ。
This was a familiar pattern of conversation between the two, especially now Kinomi was used to Sojiro's lack of general knowledge. Their banter was interrupted by the delivery phone. The manager snapped up the receiver and quickly jolted down the order and address. Once they hang up, everyone in the kitchen did their best to avoid making eye contact with him. Nobody wanted to go rushing out for a delivery on such a cold day.
しずきくん、ちょっと遠いけど配達をお願い。
The manager singled Sojiro out for the task, seemingly unfazed by his staff laziness.
はい、これ届けるもののリスト。異例だからあまり他のバイトには他言しないようにね。
The manager tore the sheet with the order and address written on it from his memo pad. Sojiro took one look at it before a grimace quietly spread across his face.
マネージャー？なんだい？
Out. The manager stared right back at him, as if he could tell what was he wanted to say.
君の疑問はもっともだ。しかしまあ、長いことこの商売をやっていると、時にはこんなバカな話が転がってくることもある。そうおかしなことじゃない。じゃ、冷蔵庫から品物持ってくるから。
Sojiro stared in admiration as the manager, dressed in black, marched out of the kitchen in his all-business way. Nowhere was free from the odd occurrence now and then.
Osoi.
It was after 10 at night. Sojiro had taken a small detour on his way home from work, and now faced with an outraged Alko, as expected. Seeing her so visibly irritated made him feel a rush of relief. He did not know why she was angry, but he could tell it was a different type of anger than what he saw earlier this morning.
遅いって、まだ10時になったばかりだろう。どうしたんだ、青崎。
He sat down the cardboard box he had been carrying in his arms and glanced toward the fireplace. The sleeping girl was there no more.
違うわ。もう10時になったの間違いでしょ。あんたってほんと自分がどんな状態にあるか分かってないのね。いいから今に来て。
She walked briskly to the other room without pausing, leaving Sojiro standing in confusion, head tilted to one side. He proceeded to pick his box back up and follow after her eagerly. He removed his coat and hung it on the hanger as he entered the living room. Apparently today was one of those days where Alice kept herself locked away in her room. I gotta snap my neck, bro. On the table were their familiar pills. Ah, there we go.
説明しなかった私も悪いけど、あなたも帰ってくる時間は守ってよね。こっちはそのつもりで作ってるんだから。
Ako handed him the pills and a glass of water with an expectant look on her face.
薬なら出かける前に飲んだけど、体の調子だって悪くないし、そんなに慌てることか？
は？なんだって私たちがあんたの健康を気にかけなくちゃいけないのよ。勘違いしてるようだけど、あんたが帰ってくるたびに飲んでるのって平たく言えば毒よ。即効性じゃないから効き目は半日すると出てくるんだけど、その前に新しい毒薬を飲んでおかないと古い毒が体に回ってばったりいくって寸法ね。アリスのやつこれぐらいしないと信用できないって言い張ったのよ。ほら分かったらさっさと飲む。まあ私もこれ面倒だと思うし。 近いうちもっと形のある方法を考えてみるから、それまでこの方法で我慢して。
言ってることは支離滅裂だが、とにかく今まで良くないものを飲んでたんだな。
Sojiro took the pills from her and gulped it down. The fact that it was poison gave him no pause at all. And as for his roommate, tyrannical behavior, he showed no signs of standing up to it.
まったく、毒を持って毒を制するなんて、また古風な真似するな、青崎もアリスも。
Sojiro's face relaxed into a smile upon finding the funny side of the situation. Ako was utterly dumbfounded as to how he could be happy at a time like this.
今日帰りが遅れたのは、アパートまで荷物を取りに行っていたからなんだ。そういうことなら、電話の一つでもすればよかった。
荷物って、まさかそれじゃないでしょうね。
Soshiro nodded emphatically as she pointed incredulously at the cardboard box in his hands.
住んでいないのに家賃を払うのはバカらしいから、今日で引き上げてきた。一応、いつでも戻れるように話はつけてあるから、3ヶ月ぐらいは大丈夫だよ。
家賃？あ、そっか。そうよね。私ってばなんでそんなことを忘れてたんだろう。アリスが聞いたら喜ぶわ、そりゃ。
A smile blossomed across her face, as they say. It was the open, bold-faced look of a child who just came up with a mischievous plan. Sojiro shook with fear at the thought of what that smile might bring his way.
けどずいぶん少ないのね、荷物。段ボール1箱分しかないの？
そうかな。十分多いだろう。それよりアリスは自室か？
ちょっと前に戻ったわ。珍しく食後もここに残ってたんだけど、待ちきれなかったみたいね。
She gave Sojiro a meaningful look while continuing to smile that sinister smile.
待ちきれなかったって何を？
そりゃあ、アリスが眠ってるのをいいことに、在庫のないフォションとブルーキャリコを勝手に使ってくれたどこかの誰かさんにお仕置きするためなんじゃない？
フォッションってあのお茶の葉？
そう、私もびっくりしたけどね。アリスがどっかで寝入るのはよくあることだけど、紅茶を用意して眠るなんてのは初めてだったから、どんな心境の変化か知りたくて起こしたら、アリスの方が驚いてたわ。一体誰の仕業なんだって。
Sojiro clapped his hands together as if remembering something important. He had forgotten to clean up the tea before leaving. The regret written from forehead to chin delighted Ako immensely.
そうか。それじゃあアリスは怒っていただろう。
当然、コマドリがとばっちりでドリブルされてたしね。
ああ、俺でも怒る。片付けをきちんとしないなんて、だらしないにも程がある。
Sojiro harshly scolded himself for his failure.
論点違う。あのね、寝顔を間近で見られたから怒ってるのよ、アリスは。
え？そうかな。アリスはそういうのは気にしないと思うんだけど。
あんたはそうかもしれないけど、私たちは気にするの。
Ako's glare was enough to make glass shatter. There was an indescribable intensity in the way she said that.
それは青崎たち限定の話か？
世間一般での常識よ。 自分が気にしないからって他人もそうだと思ってるといつかやけどするからね。
でもそれだったらロビーで寝ているアリスにだって問題ないか？見かけたら放っておけないだろう、あんなの。
その心意気は立派だけど、そこはそれ。この館の持ち主は彼女だから。この洋館内であなたが出会ったあらゆる不義不始末、失敗失態の責任は宗十郎に押し付けられるの。この意味わかる
Akko question sent Sojiro into a trance of deep thought until finally he uttered.
つまりここはアリスの自治領なんだな。
はい、よくできました。正確には私とアリスのだけどね。領主は何をやっても許されるってことよ。
She smiled as she spoke and plopped herself down on the sofa. Sojiro remained standing behind the sofa opposite as he ran over the conversation again and again in his head. The notion of this being their kingdom made him realize he actually had no idea where the girls had come from or their family's background.
青崎、君ご両親はどうしてるんだ？
He inadvertently blurted out, this being the question foremost on his mind.
生きてるわよ。三崎町から下りに4駅行った東川ってところの地主。死は祖父だけど今は隠居して両親と一緒の土地に住んでるわ。
そう聞くとなんだか普通の家庭だな。
Sojiro imagined something more outrageous for a family of magician.
両親はね、父さんにはあんまり魔術回路は作られなかったみたいだから、その分私には2世代分の潜在能力があるって祖父は言ってるけど、どうだか。宗十郎の期待してるような一族はどっちかっていうとアリスの方よ。私と違って英国出身だからね、彼女。
Isn't she Japanese? Akko offered nothing more as if to suggest that was as far as she was willing to reveal for now. Sojiro had insisted on talking to Alice directly rather than hearing things secondhand, so chose not to go back to his word by pushing the topic further.
ま、詳しくは本人から聞きなさい。アリスの紅茶好きもそこから来てるんだし。そういえば、なんで今日に限ってリーフティーなんか入れたの？ティーバッグを使った方がまだマシだったでしょうに。
青崎がそっちの方がいいって言ったじゃないか。アリスは紅茶にうるさいって。
Akko was momentarily at a loss for words. He seemed so oblivious most of the time, but apparently he was attentive to some details, at least selectively.
ま、いいわ。それより明日の放課後だけど、また一人で帰ってくれない？年明けの行事があるんだけど、その場しのぎで行った餅つき大会が通っちゃってさ、明日も忙しいのよ、私。
Sojiro nodded in acceptance. In fact, he had already been planning to do so before she even asked.
それはいいけど、体は大丈夫か、青崎。昨日から寝てないだろ
う。夕方に3時間ちょい仮眠を取ったから調子はいいわ。そういうあんたこそ体は持つんでしょうね。もう少ししたら昨日の続き始めるわよ。
She meant the all-night cramming session, of course. Needless to say, Sojiro was more than likely to struggle given that he too had not slept a wink. All he could do was just give a released smile. He thought back to the days just after he transferred here, when she watched his every move from the sidelines, showing a startling amount of concern for him.
いいよ。どのみち苦労するのは青崎の方だし、異例中の異例はありがたく受け取っておくとしよ
う。His sheer response grated on her just a little.
あんた、くだらないことだけはしつこく覚えてるんだから。
Here. She heaved her shoulders in exasperation and dropped her head as an excuse to look away from the beaming smile on his face. The following day, the last day of finals had ended without a hitch. The final December hurdle was finally a thing of the past. For all but one student, that is. To Sojiro, the greatest challenge was yet to come. He bid farewell to his classmates, all jittery with excitement for the last day of term, and headed into Shiro Inuzuka woods. The road home was no different than yesterday. Like he was reliving yet another day striding up that hill. Yet today, there was a fierce determination in his steps. Today was his last chance, and he wanted nothing more than to talk to that girl. He did not care if she was cruel to him or ignored him, nor whether Ako was being truthful when she said that she could trap him in the mirror land or something like that. All he really cared about was having a chance to speak with her one-on-one. I think that's what it said. But nothing is ever that simple. To tell the truth, what he found upon finally entered the mansion was not wholly unexpected.
よく寝る子だな、本当。
The deja vu he was experiencing made him dizzy. Faced with the exact reenactment of the previous day, he could not help but blurt out what he was thinking. Alice was sleeping by the fireplace, as she had done yesterday. The way her legs draped to one side resembled those of a princess in the children's book. She looked more comfortable than she had the day before. Miraculously, she had a rare flash of insight that enabled him to read the situation more clearly.
学校で飛び丸は一人何をしているんだろう。
Upon glancing back at the entrance, he made his decision, took a deep breath, and rolled up his sleeves. If today was a reenactment of yesterday, then he supposed he would play along with that idea. Sojiro removed his shoes and headed for the kitchen. He was on to prepare another ill-fated pot of tea. Since she was angry about him using her precious fa shon, this time he turned to Jackson Fruits and Herb Brew. Sadly, there was as much as Sojiro could manage to amend his behavior. He had failed to realize that it was not the brand of tea that had landed him in hot water, but rather his incorrect brewing method. After filling the pot with tea, he carried it back to the foyer. His breath was visible in the cold air as he sat himself down by the fireplace. Sojiro took a sip of the fruity tea he prepared for himself and pulled his textbook from his dad. Exams were over now, but he had been instructed to take extra classes for the subject from day one of school, quite inevitable. The foyer had a warmer than outside and still comfortable. Hold on. It was enough to make anyone yearn for some source of warmth. Does Hisui sleep a lot like Alice? No. Hisui does not sleep. I mean, she sleeps, but not a lot. Sojiro dove into his electronics textbook in the winter chill hall. The class was not very popular, which is why it has been recommended to him in the first place. The fact that everyone took it, started on equal footing, made it more appealing to him than other classes.
青崎の言う通り。
He downed the rest of the tea, having no appreciation for its flavor, and refilled his cup. The tea was still warm, since the ceramic teapot had excellent heat retention.
文字で物事を覚えるのは苦手みたいだ。
He vaguely recalled their conversation as his eyes advanced across the page. The lack of lighting in the foyer was forcing him to rely on illumination from the skylight. The light cut into the room at a diagonal angle in such a way as to divide the foyer into light and dark areas, with the fireplace in shadow. The room resembled ancient ruins covered in ash. Or perhaps the quiet, forgotten world of the faded fairy tale. Time slipped on by within the white walls of this room, hidden away from the sun. The minute passed slowly for some time until the sound of a textbook slamming shut brought the room back to reality. Sojiro stretched a step back and eagerly got started on clearing up. He put his textbook back in his bag, placed his cup on a tray, leaving Alice sitting in front of her on the floor.
バイトの時間だ。
He said unceremoniously. He spoke as if to convince himself that he had no other choice as he prepared to leave the sleeping foyer behind. But before he could, a sound behind him stopped him in his track. He turned around with his bag under his arm and tray in his hands, so as to not cause even a ripple in her teacup. He greeted her.
Yeah.
In a light, easygoing manner. She remained seated next to the fireplace, like a black-eyed sleeping beauty. Her face was as still as the statue, almost no different than it had been in slumber. Looking at Alice now, he realized just how different she and Ako really were. Ako communicated her feelings openly, even if he could never quite tell where they came from. Her trademark expression of irritation would keep him guessing as to the reason she was angry, but to her credit, her emotional state was always clear. Alice, on the other hand, was completely unreadable. She might be angry, but then again sad. He could not tell either way.
何のつもり?
That question gave him a sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach. He could not decide whether it was animosity or perplexity that he heard in her voice. If the former, this was likely to turn into a replay of their interaction from the other night. Animosity? There you go, animosity. An image of the shattered bottle sprang to his mind. Sojiro knew his response would be extremely important. And after struggling for a few moments, he worked up the courage to say something. Just not the correct thing, unfortunately.
そうだな。一口じゃ説明できないから。座るよ。
He had no idea what the correct approach would be, so he simply did whatever came to his mind instead. She gave him no response. Her face said that she detested his presence, but he plowed ahead regardless. Sojiro took a seat and set the tray once more. Their eyes met. His inscrutable gaze was enough to turn most people away. We didn't see Alice getting mad when Sojiro on screen as to why he noticed her sleeping for some tea. The thing what Sojiro said though, we don't know if she's mad. Because she got a poker face, so I guess we're gonna find out. But the target of her animosity appeared not to notice it at all.
それで何？
ああ、遅くなったけど、こうして話がしたかったんだ、アリスと。
Despite having suggested that it would take time to explain, he mentioned some things up sufficiently. Whatever.
私と会うことではなく。
ん？そうだね。青崎とはもっと話したいところだけど、それよりは3人で話してみたい。
Alice found herself out of the kilter, unable to read his true intentions. So she would continue on, failing to notice her bewilderment.
青崎は普段からアリスとは会話がないって言うんだ。それが俺のせいなら困るし、俺のせいじゃないならもっと困る。せっかく同じ場所にいるのに会話がないなんて、もったいないと思うんだ。
Each word he spoke was heavy with emotion. Alice remained utterly unable to discern this boy's intentions. All she could parse was that there was something he wanted from her. But what could that be? What she found even stranger was that he was not speaking to her from a place of fear.
あなたは私が怖くないの？
ああ、だってそう言えるほど俺は君をよく知らない。
Her gleaming eyes looked like they were made of polished quartz. His response had not been what she expected. He spoke with pure honesty and unfettered truth. I like this song a lot. This is a good song. Such boldness, however, did not actually upset her. Their conversation ground to a halt. If you could even call it a conversation in the first place. Alice grew tense, as if displeased by the strangely comfortable moment of silence between them. So she endured her cold stare, showing no sign of flinching.
話。
This part.
ん？
私と話をしたいと言ったでしょ。なら好きにしてみたら。
It was more of a challenge than an invitation. He had neither a topic on hand, nor were intimate enough to strike up a casual conversation. Nonetheless, her challenge hanged in the air, waiting for a response.
じゃあ、あの鳥の話を。ほら、そこにいる青い鳥。
Aotori.
たまに見かけるんだけど、君の飼い鳥か？それとも、ほら、なんて言ったかな。プロイだっけ？あの鳥もアリスの使い魔？
Her eyes let slip for a moment a very natural response. It was annoyance, such as which one might feel toward a troublemaker.
あれもプロイだけど、私とは何の関係もないダッチョウ。ずいぶん古くからいるだけで、私もよく知らないわ。
ん？じゃあ勝手に住んでるのか？この家に。
勝手になんて私が許すはずがないでしょ。 ロビンは本当に役に立たないけど、あんなのでも母から譲り受けたものだから、失敗続きでも特別に住まわせてあげてるの。
そっか、安心した。ここに住むの役に立たなきゃダメってわけでもないんだね。
She turned away in silence to avoid looking at his hapless grin. Thus began Sojiro's very lengthy monologue. It started with his part-time job, then moved on to the school. Next came the amusement park and random gossip around town, and last the subject of rent. He spent all of 20 minutes of mindless small talk. Then he ran out of things to say and finally stopped.
ごめん、アルバイトがあるから、もう行くよ。
And that was that. After finally getting his long-awaited chance to talk to her, he realized he had no exit plan in place. So he returned the tray to the kitchen, placed his bag on the foyer, and headed for the door. So he never seen the boy so candid. Which is why, overcome with surprise, she found herself calling out to him.
待って。
She had no reason to do so, and yet she called out anyway.
ん？何？
その今日はポットがあったけど。
She want to talk to him more? Is that why she stopped him?
うん。昨日の反省点だったから。結局使ったのは自分だけだけど。
そう。そのポットはコーヒーとの兼用だから。ハーブティーには合わないわ。
Sojiro's eyes grew wide with shock. Now he remembered that there had been all sorts of cups and teapots in the cupboard, each one specifically designed for a different type of tea.
なかなかに奥深い。あれかな。慣れないことはするもんじゃないってことか。
She let out a vexed sigh.
どうして私を起こさなかったの？
Either she had not heard what he said, or she had been waiting this whole time for a chance to ask him that. In any case, a question abruptly interrupted his stream of thought. He fell silent with introspection. The thought of waking her had not so much as crossed his mind either that day or the previous one.
言って。起こす気も起きることも期待していなかったのはなぜ？
Her eyes were filled with animosity. Lies were useless against such an all-piercing gaze. The settling sun transformed the foyer into a battle of life and death. Alice CU is a little emotionless, but a slight crack of her true feels come forward. They call that personality coup-d'etat. It's the cool personality, like Alice. Amidst the palpable tension that filled the room, where any move, wrong or otherwise, was likely to get him killed, he felt pain rather than fear. Alice's voice was very icy cold, preemptively rejecting any response he was to give. The boy vaguely imagined a newborn chick that had fallen from the nest, struggling to survive on its own. A gasp, hanging on a thread of hope, yet detesting where that thread hung.
言わなきゃいけないか。
Alice nodded sharply.
じゃあ言うけど、別に深い考えがあったわけじゃない。単に寝た子を起こすのは良くないだろ。
冗談は聞いてないわ。
冗談じゃないよ。眠っているのならそのままでいいと思ったんだ。話はしたいけど、それはまた目が覚めた次の機会にするべきだって。
随分と悠長なのね。青子があなたを守るのは今日までだって聞いているけど、私に取り入る機会はこれが最後なのに。それともあれだけ忠告されておいてまだ何も分かっていないの？
He had not. He swore to her, agreed to her terms, had gone as far as to sit face to face with her to get to know her. Surely he thought this was enough to escape death. And she believed, as a mage, that his naive goodwill and simple-mindedness were all the reason she needed to execute him. Trivial misunderstandings would only make things worse at this point.
そりゃ何もわからないよ。魔術とか魔法とか、たった数日でわかるもんか。はっきりしているのは、アリスも青崎も言ったことはきっちり守るってことだけだ。
ならどうして？
Her gaze said she really wanted to ask. She wanted to know why he did not beg for his life. She knew the answer. She saw the look on his face when he turned to leave without so much as to try waking her up. The look of resignation. What on earth had it meant?
どうしてって、そう言われても困る。そうだな。機会が訪れなかったのなら、それはそういうことだと思ったのかもしれない。君の寝顔はそれぐらい、なんていうか、判断に困った。青崎とは違う意味で、簡単には関われないと思ったんだ。
Sojiro struggled to find the right words, but said that he was feeling in the moment anyway. He's seen a sleeping witch of the wood who clearly needed someone help, yet sought the help of no one.
そう。でもしずきくんは関わろうとしているのね。その機会は訪れなかったのに。
機会はやってきたよ。なんでこっちも今日ぐらいは自分の勝手にして無茶をしたくなったんだ。
しずきくんの言う通りなら私はあなたを拒絶するしかないのに。
まあそこが難しいところなんだけど。
Sojiro glanced at the entrance. You think Alice still wants to kill him, even if his goodwill type of stance? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Sojiro does to change her mind. He had no reason to. He just felt an urge to do so.
多分そこを解決したがってるのは俺だけじゃないと思うよ。
He muttered as if speaking to himself, but it was clearly meant for her to hear. I gotta sneeze. Alice knew full well how poorly he had understood the situation. All of this was one giant misunderstanding on his part. His tiny gesture of goodwill, pitiful and pure, resembled that of someone reaching out to help a dying kitten. For Alice, doing so would be akin to clutching the thorns of a rose. She felt pain in her chest for the first time in quite a while.
けど私はあなたの同居を認めてはいないわ。
She addressed the floor at her feet to avoid showing him how she truly felt. If he had, he would have seen that her face looked just the way Alco's had earlier.
だろうな。それはきっと今は解決できない問題だ。でもそのうち 何かの気まぐれであっさり終わるものかもしれない。だからその時までアリスはずっと俺を嫌っていていいんだと思う。
Her gasp of breath was like a response in itself. To suggest she could keep hating him. She had once wished to hear those words so dearly, if only the once.
大体だぞ。アリスだけじゃなく青崎も同居を認めてない節があるじゃないか。だから認めてもらうなんて意気込み自体が間違いなんだ。どうあっても俺は青崎や君たちとは違うんだし、となるとあとは我慢してもらうしかない。難しい話だけど、一緒にいても邪魔にならないぐらいならその可能性は上がらないか？
Thinking that of course it was possible, but if it were that easy, none of this would have been necessary in the first place. Alice nodded in agreement. There was no way he could have planned for things to work out this well. But his plan in fact had worked, if inadvertently, from the moment the conversation began.
例えばあなたが隣にいても眠っていられるぐらいに。
そうだね。例えばの話。
Beaming, Soshiro stood up and left the foyer. Alice did not stop him this time. He had a newfound spring in his step as he headed to work. But something gave him a moment's pause.
実際、覗き見は趣味が悪いと思う。
Akko? He complained aloud to make sure a certain someone heard him. No more than 2 minutes had passed since Soshiro left the mansion, when a long-haired figure came creeping into the foyer. Akko Aozaki had been just outside the entire time, eavesdropping.
帰ってたの。
It was sullen glare. Alice addressed the interloper. Akko was shivering from head to toe after standing in the code for so long. She deemed gloves an abomination and refused to wear them except in the most extreme code. As a result, her slender fingers are pitifully swollen and red.
ちょっと前にね。それでどうだったのアリス。随分と話してたみたいだけど。
She looked strangely elated as she blew on her hands to warm them. Alice was not fooled at all by Akko's facade, clear from an ill-tempered look she wore on her face.
あなたがここまで過保護とは思わなかったわ。意地？それとも義務？どっちかっていうと成り行きね。で、どうだったのよ結果は。気に食わなかったら実力行使に出るって言ってたじゃない。
Alice's mood was growing darker and darker the longer she had to look at Akko's cheerful posturing. It all went back to their dinner together the previous night. After everything that happened in the foyer, Alice was both more suspicious of and intrigued by Soshiro than ever before. She insisted that Akko let him walk home alone the next day. She didn't use a concoction to fake her slumber and recreate the same scene as the previous day. The portion of her plan went well, but the rest had veered totally off course. It did not help that her roommate would savor every moment of it on the other side of the wall either. To make matters worse, Alice was frustrated at herself for letting such trivial matters bother her. She stared at the teacup still sitting on the floor. Her pale fingers trace its cold rim.
青子の言う通り害にはならない人ね。あくまで今のところの話だけど。
She forced a tone of indifference in order to hide her irritation with her apprentice. It was in this moment that Sojido's fate was decided.
あら、それだけ？アリスにしては長く話してたのに。
Relentless, Ako continued her line of questioning. Alice only stared back icily.
青子、あなた隠していたわね。
She voiced her displeasure at Ako's behavior in no uncertain terms. Suddenly, the air in the foyer felt cold as ice. They stared at one another, each trying to guess the other next move.
さすがね。よくそこに気がついたもんだわ。でも、こればかりは譲れないのよ。
Ako widened her stance and glared at Alice.
何もすべて奪うとは言っていないわ。そうね。あなたにも3割ぐらいは回すつもり。
Completely unperturbed by Ako's warlike posturing, a simple look was all Alice needed to keep her roommate in check.
ふん。10が3に化けちゃ、ちょっと黙ってらんないわね。高望みは命取りよ、青子。
Alice remained calm and dignified, not moving a muscle. It felt like hours passed as the two stared at each other in silence. Ako was grinding her teeth in frustration. At this rate, their alliance would be in tatters before they even confronted their foe. And worst of all, she knew Alice had the upper hand.
Catch.
Ako accepted her defeat with a tisk.
悔しいけど、アリスが6、私が4で手を打つわ。
It pained her to settle for less. Alice nodded in satisfaction.
そうね。家主は私だけど、彼を招いたのは青子だから。
Oh shit.
その代わり、家賃の取り立てはあなたの役割ね。
Oh, you gotta pay rent. Damn.
ああ、情けない。こんなことなら錬金術でもかじっておくんだった。そうすればこんな思いをしなくても済んだのに。
Damn,
そうでも
dude.
ないわ。彼らバブルが弾けて大変だって話よ。
Alice spoke with confidence of someone with first-hand experience in such matters, yet Ako only nodded absent-mindedly in response. Damn, dude, Alice gets 60% of the rent, and Ako take 40%. The bitter fight over how to split on the take of Sojido rent now has officially going and move in. Not the most becoming quarrel for a pair of mages. Forcing boys to live with them and then demanding he pays rent. It was beyond extortion. It was truly vicious.
でも、そんなセリフが出るってことは、アリスもようやく認めたってことね。
Ako was triumphantly satisfied with herself.
認めてはいないけど、公園での夜、彼を結界で捕捉しなかった責任があるから、彼と約束をした青子だけを責められないでしょ。約束か。
Naksokuka. Ako looked up the ceiling as she recalled the night at the amusement park. Only a week at most had passed since then, but Ako already felt that Sojido's fate and her own had become intrinsically linked. Or perhaps they had always been connected by fate since the moment they met. fate stay night. She could not see into the future, so there was no way to know for sure.
ま、縁とか運とかはともかく。変だけどいいやつよね、あいつ。
A thought uttered to herself, and self-confirmation more than to Alice. Alice could only look on in annoyance. Perhaps it's an attempt to voice her displeasure at her comment.
青子、あの傷を知ってる？傷？
Alice raised her slender finger to her mouth, as if to push the words back in. She had blurted it out in the heat of the moment. A secret that no one else was supposed to know, but that which one couldn't keep to herself.
Hmm?
Akko tilted her head in confusion.
So.
Alice looked relieved for some reason. Her sudden antipathy towards Akko had dissipated as well.
幸せな人。
Said Alice as she took a sip of her cold tea. She made no attempt to explain what was fortunate or why. Then cold tea! Oh man. I mean, cold tea could be good. I mean, sweet tea, yeah. A moment later, her beautiful face contorted in revulsion.
まずい。
Yeah, cold tea. Oh man. She abandoned the cup to the floor once more. Her black dress unceremoniously scrunched up as she stood. Just one sip of the underbrewed tea sent her fleeing to the drawing room to remove the bad taste from her mouth. As soon as she was gone, Akko hesitantly took the teacup in her own hands. It was almost certainly better left untasted, but she could not help but wonder how sojo tea could arouse such a strong response. Arouse? After one small sip, she returned it quietly to the floor.
だからティーバッグにしろって言ったのに、あのバカ。
The expression on her face was nearly identical to that of her roommate. He used the coffee cup. Alright, so what was that? Chapter 6? Alright. That was chapter 6? That was 6 chapters, so I'm halfway done with the game. Alright. Let me see. That's half of the game. You know, I think this game is kind of slow. That was half the game. I feel like nothing really happened, in my opinion. The only thing that happened was that one night. That was pretty cool. Akko finding the puppet. And then Sojiro and Akko finding Alice. That's about it. I don't remember too much after that. Let's see. I don't think this is supposed to be like an action visual novel, like Stay Night. They even made Tsukihime remake more actiony. The one thing I really like about Tsukihime OG's not as actiony as Stay Night either, but it had like a psychological thrill. This one's more, it feels more slice of life than anything so far. That's a little bit of some mysteries. It's more like, not like a thriller like Tsukihime OG, and not quite actiony as Stay Night. It's more, Yeah, I guess slice of life, huh? Than anything. It feels slice of life. Let's see how the other half of the visual novel is. That makes me think, how are they gonna do the movie? Are they gonna skip the slice of life stuff? So basically the first half. We'll see. We'll see when the movie comes out in November. Alright, let's keep going. Let's see what chapter. Let's see what the other half is like. What's the other half called? That was called Are You For Real? This is chapter 8? What the fuck? I thought it was on 6. Okay. Is this chapter 8? Hold on. Steam. Did we skip 7? What the hell? Oh, I skipped 7 on accident. Can they really do? Probably not. But it looks like I skipped 7. Search. Uh-oh. Archive. So chapter 7, is chapter 7 optional? Oh fuck, it's kind of hard to tell which one's chapter 7. This one. Is this chapter 7? Wow. Chapter 7 is optional. Whoa, there's a lot in chapter 7. Oh fuck. Okay, so this is chapter... Alright, you want to do chapter 7? Let's go ahead. All right. Weird. Why is chapter 7 optional? Wait, is it... This is red? Hold on. How you do the thing? This is confusing. I read this already. Did I? Text setting. Red. Fixed color. This is red. I read this already. Okay. What's the controls? How you skip? Only read, right? Okay, I can only skip red text. Let's see. Is this red? Oh, I read this already. That's the dinner table where they ate bread.
チョコのペースト切れたままじゃん。
That was part of chapter 7? I'm confused. That was chapter 7? When did chapter 7 happen? When did chapter 6 ended? Back. Like a bird. What the heck? I'm confused. What the hell? Let me see that. Let me see when did chapter 6 ended. I'm curious. It's when he came back home. Okay. He came back home and then... Oh, this is when chapter 6 ended. I remember that. It didn't say chapter 7 next though, right? I guess because they're all the same. Martha. That's the only new one. Alright. There we go. I'm gonna put it up here. Walking around the mansion at night often leads to mysterious encounters. Mist might suddenly fill the hallway. Or doors might appear and disappear. Just when Soichiro thought he had seen it all, the pig-shaped shadows mending the carpet. He heard the sound of a bird's flapping coming from the sunroom.
何事
Nanikoto. As much as he had become accustomed to turning a blind side to such occurrences, the sound of flapping wings in the sunroom was too much to ignore. And not just one bird or even two. It sounded like dozens. So many birds packed in the sunroom would inevitably lead to shattered windows and broken glass. Soichiro grabbed a broom and dashed toward the sound, prepared for the worst. Perhaps he was moved by his natural impulse to help or desperate self-defense. His mind flashes to what a teacher has said at school.
皆さんも部屋の整頓は心がけてくださいね。人間の自制心って環境に流されるらしいですから。
True that.
ほら、それまで犯罪の少ない町だったのに、一つボロボロの家ができただけで近隣住人がみんな自堕落になるというあれ。
True
環
that.
境への無関心さがすさんだ精神を作り上げるとか眉唾ですけど、正直なところブームだからって盗んだバイクで走り回ったり学校の廊下の窓ガラスとか割って回っちゃダメですよ。
You know, this
先生の仕
sensei,
事が増えますから。
he's speaking some truth. He's spitting some facts. The sensei. So what he just said is true. Cause my brother-in-law told me about their old apartment. And he used to keep it real clean. And sweep like the front and like make sure there's not trash near the apartment. Because once they move out and they didn't have anyone like a, what do you call it? The building manager? They didn't have a building manager anymore. So the apartment became a mess. It was like, you know, grass growing. The front looked dirty. And then he told me like after that, he heard from one of the old apartment people that he still keep in touch with. Or he just happened to talk with. They got robbed at the front door of the apartment, of the garage door. It opened up and they got robbed. I'm like, God damn. And then he told me the reason why they never got robbed when he was around as the building manager is because he kept it nice and clean. If you keep the area nice and clean, people won't, you'll be less likely to get robbed because people will think it's well guarded, right? Or something like that. I forgot what he told me specifically, but he told me like basically if well kept area seem like it's like, you know, there's more eyes, people is watching constantly, so you know they're gonna be less of a target. They're gonna think it's like a well guarded area. I'm not gonna touch it. But if it's like messy, that means they don't give a fuck. Meaning if you don't give a fuck, then no one's really watching, so you can rob them. I don't remember what he told me. I think it's something like that. It's been a while, but yeah, this sensei, he's spitting some truth. If you live in a neighborhood, keep it clean, man. Come on, man. Do your part, keep it clean. And yeah. Don't let the crime rate goes up. At the time, school gangs were garnered in certain reputations.
窓が割れると心が割れる
Yep, true that. Soichiro appreciated the basic message of the lecture as he ruminated over it. The thought of broken windows had given him a sense of urgency, as if the mentioned very moral foundation were at stake. His roommate were harsh enough with him already. Anything further would only lead to rampant rumors at school about their cruelty. He had to protect the honor of the student council president. He also concerned for his own safety that sent him rushing to the sunroom, however. There wasn't a bird to be seen or a chirp to be heard upon his arrival.
あら。
Only Alice and Akko, slipping afternoon tea at the table they overlooked the courtyard, were present. The dozen of birds Sojiro had sensed with his mountain intuition were nowhere to be seen.
今ここに鳥が来なかった？
アリス、見た？
Mita? Did you see?
さあ、もう見えないのならいないということでしょう。
だって、いないよ、鳥。
It was a lie so blatant, even Sojiro could see through it.
そんなバカな。
He knew for a fact that he heard the flapping of a flock of birds. Unable to accept that there really were no wild animals in the room, Sojiro approached the windows with suspicion. There were no feathers or any other signs of birds having been outside either.
あ、夕食、鳥鍋？
What? Of course, Akko would say something like that as she watched Sojiro search desperately.
あいにく今日のバイトは魚屋さんだ。イワシでよければ土産にするけど。
イワシ。イワシか？私、あのパイ嫌いなのよね。いえ、むしろイワシのパイとか食べたことないのよね。
Okay. She's so stupid. Akko's stand-up routine was far ahead of its time. She's so fucking stupid. I do like that a little bit. Sojiro backed away from the window and begrudgingly left their sunroom. Feeling Alice all too familiar inscrutable gaze upon his back.
なんだい、アリ。
Just as he opened his mouth to ask her what she wanted. Ow.
あいった。
A blue comet crashed into his head. It needed no explanation. Is that a lot of birds? It's a lot. It could only be Robin, the mysterious bird that appeared frequently in the mansion. Looked like two birds, right? Or just one? It shrilled accusingly. The truth was, the tiny aggressor that assaulted him just now was the greatest of the mansion's 7 wonders. It's gonna be his backstory. No. Flashbang. Sojiro encountered all sorts of people along his route to work. Still new to city life, he found the crowds of people outside the station utterly fascinating. In fact, they were the highlight of his commute. No two people wore exactly the same clothes or walk in the same fashion. With so many people, you would think they would all melt into indistinguishable huddle, but each person he saw was different and unique. Sojiro was excited as a child as he looked out the bustling, diverse streets of the city.
いや。
Closing his eyes in shame, he sighed. He was upset with himself for behaving like a bumbling tourist from the countryside.
ちょっと、 青信号で突っ立ってられるの邪魔なんだけど。
Dang.
何柄にもなく黄昏れてるんだか。
A stern and familiar voice behind him snapped him out of his navel gazing.
なんだ、マッドベアに行く途中だったんだ。私はコンビニのバイト。こっちは5時からだけど。しずきは？
同じく5時から。くまりはどこか寄るところでも？
本屋に寄った帰り、読みたかった本がなくなってたから仕方なく出歩いてたところよ。
なるほど。時間を持て余しているところも同じだね。
The girl greeting him was Kachika Kumari, a work friend who was also the same year as Misaki High. Though it would have been more accurate to say she was looking for a pretext to fight him rather than greet him. Isochiro Kumari had been the first person in the city he could look up to. They met at his first job. But she insisted he wasn't cut to work to register after many mistakes and convinced him to quit working at convenience stores altogether. In the end, she introduced him to his current job at the Chinese restaurant, the Mad Bear, a much better fit for Sojiro.
何その無理やりな顔。なんか元気ない。いつも以上にイラッとくるわ。しずきのいいところなんていつもピシッとしてる背筋ぐらいなのにみっともなく丸まってるし。もしかして悩みとかあるの？マッドベアにタチの悪い先輩でもいるとか。それなら話ぐらいは聞いてあげるから。言ってみたら。
Though her tone was stern, her eyes were earnest. Having grown up in the city herself, she was irritated by virtually everything Sojiro said and did. Nevertheless, she still treated him like an equal. I kind of like this character. This character's cool. Introducing him to his current job was just one example of her sincerity.
いや、別に悩みとかそういうんじゃなくて、不思議なことがあったというか、珍しいものを見たというか。
Sojiro could not find the words to explain his situation, but that did not stop him from trying. There were no problems with the Mad Bear to speak of. He liked it just as much as his other jobs at Otatsu, the fishmongers in the shopping district. In fact, his problem had nothing to do with work at all. No, his problem was a certain blue bird that would not stop pecking at him recently.
鳥につっつかれる？何それ、小さい悩み。でもまあ、青い鳥っていうのは確かに珍しいわね。
What's up, Tinto Legendary
珍
Doggo?
しいのは外見の話じゃなくて。
What's this game about? Oh man. It's too hard. He stopped, unsure how to proceed. Just go with the flow, bro. Words alone were not enough to convey the bird's plump body or the sound of its chirping. It's been like 8 hours already
綺
in
麗
this
な
game.
青色といったらマウンテンブルーバードだけど、日本にはいないわよね。
So I can't tell you the
青いツバメ
summary.
だったらいるかもしれないけど。
いや、ツバメじゃなくて丸っこいんだ。図鑑で調べたんだけど、どうもコマドリっぽいけど。
うん、青色のコマドリは存在しない。しずきは縁日の青ひよこって知ってる？知らないわよね。いい、そう面白い話じゃないから
She
忘れて。
said.
それよりそのコマドリって1話だけなの？
ああ、1羽だけだ。つがいは見当たらない。
突然変異だとしたらちょっとかわいそうね。生まれた時から最後の1話だなんて孤独にも程があるわ。 どんな鳥かは知らないけど、次に見かけたら優しくしてあげたら。自販機で10円を拾うぐらいの幸運は運んでくれるかもよ。
Okay. Her words were perfectly kind, but he could hardly sympathize with the creature after all the painful pecking to which it had subjected him. He wouldn't have called the bird lonely either.
いいじゃない、小鳥1羽ぐらい。そりゃ都会で鳥につつかれるのは珍しいけど、いい方の珍事よそれ。
Okay.
これがゴミ袋を漁るカラスの大群だったら困りものでしょうけど。
あ、そういえば他にも気になることが。
Her example had reminded him of the mystery of the disappearing birds at the mansion. A stranger, then strange event.
実は今あそこに見える丘に住んでるんだけど、出るんだ、大量のムクドリが頻繁に。そのくせ街に出ると見かけない。
当たり前でしょう。街じゃ鳥なんて見かけないし、あそこは山だから動物は多いんじゃない？
Okay.
それよりあなた、あの山に引っ越したの？前のアパートは引き払ったって聞いてたけど、学校まで通うの大変じゃない。なんだってあんな偏僻なところに。
ちょっとした成り行きだよ。それに通うのは大変じゃない。
Did she suddenly got
大変なのは
taller?
中の話なんだ。
She looked like she got taller.
ん？
It took 30 minutes to reach town on foot. The 40 minutes to the nearest convenience store would be the real kicker for most people, but for Sojiro, it was no inconvenience. The real problem was the dark forces beyond human understanding that lurk within the grounds. There you go, she's back to being short.
それはクマリに話すことじゃなかった。それより今の話だ。街には鳥が少ないと言ったけど、どうして？
単に環境に適応できなかったのよ。何？鳥の話には随分と食いつくわね。しずき、動物好き？
どちらかというと好きな方だけど。
そう、私は嫌い。
Wow.
そんな私に鳥の話とかしてほしい。
What the hell? Okay. Bro, she just spent 20 minutes talking about birds. How do we know you didn't like birds? Her statement could hardly be more self-contradictory. Minutes after telling him to be nice to a bird that attacked him, she now claiming she did not even like animals. What the hell?
そうだな。嫌いなだけで苦手でないのなら、知ってる範囲で聞かせてほしい。
痛いとこつくじゃない。いいわ、バイトまでの時間つぶしにしてあげる。さっきの続き、環境に適応できるかできないかってところからね。今でこそこんなだけど、岬はここまで大きな町じゃなかったんだって。昔はその半分が森だったから、彼らはもともと森に適した生活をしていたのよ。
The way Komori addressed them was of note. Whether she liked them or not, she seemed to at least have some respect for them.
でも近代化した町じゃ自然のサイクルも成り立たない。人間ってのはまず環境を自分たちの都合に変えるから。ヤブ蚊が多いってことで小さな川の流れを変えたり、町中コンクリートで塗り固めちゃえば鳥的にはお手上げよ。虫も森も少ないんじゃ、もう山に逃げるしかない。彼らは故郷を追われてこの森から山に移った。人間にとって都合のいい町は鳥たちが生きるコロニーにはなり得ないから。
そんなことぐらいで減るものか？
I see birds outside
姿を
every
見え
day.
なくなるぐらいに？
そこまで極端じゃないとは思う。
I also get bitten by
例のあなただって
mosquitoes every day,
ムクド
though.
リを見てるでしょ。比較の問題
Every
や
time I step outside, I
街に
get
は人
bit.
間が多いから鳥の姿は余計希少に感じるだけ。たまに見かけるだけで珍しいと思えるぐらいにね。
ああ、確かに。じゃあ鳥は町からいなくなっただけであの山に移り住んで。
I also live in nature, though, to be fair. Humans might not be able to see them in day-to-day life, but they were all alive and well nonetheless. Their habitat and lifestyle changed with the times, but they never truly disappeared. Social sense of relief was sharply disrupted by a serious look from Komori. I live near a big-ass tree,
あの
dude.
山に天敵がいなければね。
Like, it's really
人
fucking
間の
big.
手による
It's
乱
like,
獲か移った先にいる生態系との衝突か。
it's the biggest fucking tree I've
ど
seen
ち
in
ら
my
にせ
life.
よ居場所を失った彼らの寿命は短いと思う。
It's bigger than a
一世紀
city
持てばいい方
tower.
かもしれない。旅行鳩の例もあるし、
Wish I can show you the
気
tree.
がついた時には取り返しつかないのが動物と人間の関係よ。
旅行鳩？
そう、旅行鳩。体長は40センチほどもある大型の綺麗な鳥。オスの翼は深い青色で、胸は鮮やかなエンジ色。オレンジ色の目は嘘みたいに愛らしくて、その羽は時速100キロで長い距離を旅するの。
I think this girl likes animals. Her voice had a certain tenderness to it. She was daydreaming about birds she had never seen in the flesh.
北アメリカにいた鳩でね、春は南から北へ、冬は冬越えのために北から南に移動するの。今から100年以上も前の話よ。彼らはかつて地上で最も繁殖した高等動物だった。何しろその数は50億。当時の総人口より多かったっていうんだから圧巻よね。
なんと人間より数の多い動物がいたっていうのか？
うん。でも彼らは絶滅したわ。他ならぬ人間の手によって。
She
16
likes
世紀
birds.
にヨーロッパからアメリカ
She
大
said
陸
she
に
don't
やってき
like
た探検
animals.
家たちは空を覆い尽くすほどの鳥の群れを見た。それが旅行鳩を記した一番古くて確かな記録。まあ私も本で知った知識だけど、太陽を隠してそのおびただしい数で森を覆って雪のように糞を落としていく光景なんて今じゃもう夢物語でしょうね。でも
That does
当時の
sound
人にと
crazy.
っては悪夢だった。
Imagine all the bird shit in the
旅
sky.
行鳩一羽一羽は美しいフォルムをしていても、それだけの数が集まればそれはもう暴力なんだから。彼らはその時点では森を破壊し人間を脅かす悪魔のような存在だった。営巣地は 10km にまで及んで1コロニーにつき5万羽近い鳥の鳴き声が響いたのよ。一瞬にして風景を変えるほどの鳥の群れと世界を覆うほどの鳴き声。冒険家たちが救んだのもうなずけるわね。
You
一
think
つ
she's
の住
lying
処に5万羽？
about liking animals? Sojiro trailed off as he attempted to count the number with his digits. He could barely count the number of people in the crowd outside the station. This would be far beyond his capacity.
でもそんな数の鳥を人間の手でどうやって？
ええ、当時誰もがそう思ったんでしょうね。でも話は簡単だったの。人間にとって旅行鳩は脅威でもあったけど、同時に安価な実りでもあったから。渡り鳥の胸肉は美味しいでしょ？よく鍛えられてるから。そんな食材が空に向かって鉄砲を撃つだけでバタバタと落ちてきたとしたら、あなたはどうする？
Oh man.
まあ 身も蓋もないことを言えば、旅行バトって鳥は簡単にお金にできる生き物だった。かくして、狩りは延々と続けられた。落ちた鳥は羽をむしられて、塩漬けの樽に押し込まれて、次々と出荷された。それはもう狩りですらなかった。ただの消費。人間側は労働の実感も作業の手間すら感じなくなっていた。その頃、旅行バトは1羽1セントで手に入れることができたんだって。ここで言うならたった1円。ほんと。信じられる？その国最小の通貨1枚で売買される命が、この地球にはあったなんて。
Kumari spoke as if reciting from a textbook. Her voice, nevertheless, had a certain darkness to it. Was it pity for the slain birds or disgust for her fellow men? Either way, the passenger pigeon fate was a cruel joke carried out by humanity, typical, some might say. Poor Sojiro had yet to comprehend just how typical that side of humanity was.
けど、それはまだまだ序の口で、本番は19世紀に入ってからだった。人間の旅行バト狩りはますます熱狂していった。学校で習ったでしょ？ゴールドラッシュ。南北戦争を経て、アメリカ合衆国は急激に成長していく。
What the fuck,
西欧からの移民は増え続け、1870年には4000万もの人口に達していたわ。そんな移民たちの胃袋と財布を満たす材料として、旅行バトは最高の獲物だった。
It was cool for 10 minutes, but come on, man.
で、もっと最悪なことに、人間は工夫する生き物だった。彼らはより早く、より多く、より簡単に旅行バトを乱獲する手段を競い合った。目をつぶした鳩をおとりにして集団を誘い込んで、1日で1万羽以上捕らえたやつさえいた。それでも彼らは乱獲に疑問すら持たなかった。
I don't know why
繁殖
Natsu
と
is
狩猟の
telling
バ
us
ランス
this.
は誰が見ても明らかに狂っていたのに。
Okay. She was doing everything she could to speak in calm, measured tones. Damn, Natsu, you're onto something here. Sojiro, meanwhile, was completely enraptured by her words. Having been raised in a mountain, it was no means a happy story for him. But right now, he was more interested in knowing why it ever happened in the first place.
それ一方的すぎないか？旅行バトだって数が減ってくれば人間には近寄らないんじゃ。
そこが彼らの不幸だったのよ。
Natsu!
旅行バ
Natsu!
トは繁殖力が非常に弱くて自衛手段を持たない鳥だった。大群で暮らすこと、
Natsu,
それだけ
please.
が彼らの身を守る手段だったの。
Please don't
彼
do
ら
this
が
to us,
50億
Natsu.
の王国を築けたのはそれまで天敵がいなかったからなんでしょうね。先住民であるインディアンも彼らを乱獲することはなかったというし、け
Okay.
ど入植者たちは自然のサイクルには点で疎かった。何よりあのおびただしい数の鳥が絶滅するなんて夢にも思わなかった。旅行バトにしたら晴天の霹靂よ。まさか何世紀も遅れて海の向こうから天敵がやってくるなんて。そうして1896年、人間はようやく熱狂を冷ますほどの現実に直面したわ。
Where did America get founded?
万羽。
Quarter of a million.
それが確認された旅行バトの総数、何もかも手遅れよ。急いで保護法が作られたけど人間の習慣はそう簡単には変わらないわ。あるいは狩人たちはこう思ったのかもしれない。まだ25万羽もいるじゃないか。1000羽や2000羽ぐらいなら独り占めしても構わないだろうって。そうしてハンターたちは当時最新の技術、電報で旅行バトたちの所在を知らせ合って、実に20万羽の旅行バトを仕留め、4万羽を傷つけた。生き延びたのは5000羽だけ。この時点で彼らは野生で生きられる種ではなくなったのよ。
Is it twist is that Robin's a passenger? Whatever. Sojiro face sunk into a skull. No longer able to survive in the wild. He knew all too well what that phrase meant. No wild animal can last long on its own. No animal could survive without a sufficiently large population of their fellow kind sufficiently feeding ground to support the group. Strength in their massive numbers was all the passenger pigeon had ever had, and so once that was gone.
それで 旅行バトはどうなったんだ？
最後に保護された旅行鳩はたったの3羽。
It's 3.
シンシナティの動物園ではオス2羽、メス1羽の旅行鳩が飼育されたけど、1年でオスたちは死んじゃったわ。
Damn,
残され
dude.
たのはメス1羽だけ。その時点で彼女は地上で最も孤独な生き物になった。名前はマーサ。
Martha.
北アメリカを旅する鳥たちの最後の1羽でありながら、ただの一度も空を飛ぶことができなかったカゴの鳥。結局29年で彼女はその命を終えたわ。1914年9月1日午後1時。一つの種が終わる時間がここまで正確に残っている例は今のところこれだけよ。
The story of 5 billion deaths had finally come to an end. The birds had been swallowed up by the machination of human civilization. Komari had attempted to show her sympathy for the lost species, but the emotional impact had clearly been all but lost on Sojiro.
意外。できるだけ私的に語ったつもりだけど、受け悪いみたい。山育ちのあなたには憤慨者の話だと思ったのに。
いや、すごい話だったけど、
Okay.
その整理がつかなくて、当時の人たちは自分たちの手で減らしておいたのに、なんで最後は保護したのかって。
Komari stared blankly at him, eyebrows raised high. What he likely meant to ask why humans would protect the last of a species. They themselves had hunted into extinction. Komari could hardly be blamed for her bewilderment. The song is good too. Having been raised in the city, she failed to recognize the danger inherent in his cluelessness. He felt neither anger towards humans for their base selfishness nor sympathy for the birds who remained in their natural habitat even at the cost of their lives. His upbringing had not provided him with the necessary sense of self-righteousness to produce feelings in either direction.
相変わらずよくわかんないやつ。まあ、私が言いたかったのは、どんなに強く美しく見えても、居場所から追われた生き物は儚いってこと。しずきくん。あなたが見た鳥は、その最後の1羽かもしれないわよ。
And with that, their idle conversation came to an end. It was nearly time for the shift to begin, and Sojiro was the first to head off.
らしくない。何熱く語ってたんだろう、私。
Komari remained in the park after Sojiro left. Martha, the last of her species. She had not been referring to the blue bird when mentioning Martha, but...
やめやめ。 珍しいから特別視するとかバカみたいだし。
She rubbed the back of her head, apparently angry at herself for getting involved in something that was none of her business. She and Sojiro were not even in the same class at school. He was a total stranger as far as she was concerned. The more something bothered her, the more she felt compelled to investigate it. It was a personal quirk of hers, and the only reason she had gotten so worked up about the passenger pigeon. Kamara Rogrum brow furrowed. I like her angry face. She had only spoken to Sojiro to make sure he was doing okay at the Bad Bear. Or maybe it was that she had been strangely drawn to him. The more they spoke, the more she felt drawn to him.
まあ見てて頼りないってのが一番だろうけど、話してみるとしっかりしすぎてるのよね、彼。
Amidst some muttering complaints, she recalled their conversation upon parting.
で、少しは街に慣れた？
To which he had given a weak shake of his head.
全然。何にせよ、覚えなくちゃいけないことが多すぎて。
He was trying his best to keep up with the overwhelming amount of new information every day. However, despite his apparent naivety and ferocity, he was, in fact, trying to learn everything he could about his new surroundings. But the same, there was no reason it needed to be so overwhelming in the first place. It was only due to his own naivety's subordinate frame of mind that he felt compelled to memorize each and every detail. Memorize.
どうだろう。素直っていうのはちょっと違うと思うよ。単にそれがいいことか悪いことかまだ分かってないだけかもしれないし。
He awkwardly claimed.
そうね。でももしかしたらそもそも。
Komori stopped herself mid-train of thought, deciding to instead wave goodbye and take her leave. She sighed out loud every time she replayed that scene in her head. Work at the convenience store started in 5 minutes. She gave herself a light slap on the face in an effort to forget their conversation. She reminded herself that she had neither the energy to worry about other people's problems, nor the obligation to do so. She had her own concerns, saving up enough money for college, for example. Fighting against her parents' opposition every night was draining enough. There was no room for burdening herself with other students' issues.
でももしかしたらそもそもか。
It was not like her to get so tongue-tied, she thought to herself under a strange smile.
ほんとはっきり言ってやればよかった。あなたは単にそういうのに関わる気がこれっぽっちもないんじゃないのかって。
He really did annoy her. Now in thoroughly bad mood, she left the park in a huff. Alright. Interesting. Now we know more about her character. She's fighting with her parents, saving up for college. When Sojiro entered the drawing room after work with a gift of sardines and roommates, he came to face with Alice sitting on the sofa.
や、こんばんはアリス。
Was that story supposed to be a metaphor for Sojiro? That he's out of place? And if he can't adapt, he'll die? The sense of familiarity to be able to say I'm home when entering the mansion still eluded Sojiro. He headed straight to the kitchen to fill a bucket with water to keep the sardines fresh. But the icy stare on his back sent him anxiously to the refrigerator instead.
台所にバケツはダメなんだな。
Calmly accepting the change in plans, he shoved the sardines into the fridge and peeked back into the drawing room.
アリス、青崎は？
さあ、自分の部屋にいるか出かけているんでしょう。
Her reply was curt. He nodded and got to work cleaning the kitchen. There was nothing particular he wanted to say to her, and also sensed that it would not be a good idea to start up a conversation needlessly. So he tidied up the sink area, washed the cutting board, wiped down the knives, and put away the cutlery so they could be easily found. Her black eyes monitored every action in his streamlined workflow. A rhythm that even the most seasoned housekeeper would be envious of. He would surely notice her gaze before too long. He bent over to store a large pot under the sink when it happened. As he began to stand back up, he locked eyes with Alice and then... It sounds like Neko Arc. Doesn't that sound like Neko Arc? Before he could make another move, he felt something slam into the back of his head, a bright shock of blue. He knew what it was without looking. It could only be the mansion Blue Robin.
洋館に戻ってくるなり、コマ取りに呼び出される。
Sojiro muttered under his breath. It was a rare situation that made Sojiro feel like complaining. Damn, she do sound like Neko Arc. Maybe not quite so. The robin chirped in his shrill tone. You see, the little creature that loved to attack Sojiro so was the greatest of the mansion's many wonders. And with good reason.
舐めてるっすね。自分コマドリだって舐めてるっすね。ところで鶏鍋ってどういうことっすか？それ美味しいっすか？今度見舞ってほしいっす。
Okay, like so. And when did the robin started talking? Sojiro had an inkling of what the bird was getting at. For someone raised in the mountains, that was an utter nightmare. Animals were not supposed to be able to talk. Okay. Yeah, the robin is talking. Alright. Then again, having lived in the mountains for over a decade, he did sometimes feel like he could understand what birds were trying to say. He knew it was just his imagination, but sometimes he thought that they even saw him as a friend. This was not the case with this bird. Sojiro had a realist attitude towards wild animals as a result of being so familiar with them, in contrast to the ever-mysterious humans who lived in the city.
しかし、現実だ。
Genjutsu da. It's reality. As much as he wanted to deny the reality he was facing, he could not help but recall Komari's story. Oh yeah, be nice to her. She had said to try and be nice to the bird the next time he saw it. According to her, any rare or one-of-a-kind creature must accordingly feel very lonely.
座れって言ってるのに仕方っすか。
Okay.
あーでも椅子ないっすねここ。じゃあ立ってるっす。小坊主だけに廊下に立ってるのがお似合いっす。
Okay.
あれ？今はうまいこと言ったんすかね自分。
The bird perched itself on the telephone receiver, seemingly worn out from all the flapping. I think this bird is my new favorite character. Sojiro was dumbfounded. I also really like Neko Arc and Tsukihime. That's why that cat anime, Chainsmoker Cat Girl, is my favorite anime this season. Because Yani Neko from Chainsmoker Cat Girl, she reminds me of Neko Arc too. And that's why that's my favorite anime. Listening in silence to the bird chatter on his way of expressing his denial. Was that 9:30,
自分長
8:30?
いっす。プロイ歴長いっすよ。マイ女神の頃からアリスさんに仕えてるっす。なんで青いかとかどうでもいいっす。
Okay.
特技はズバリ探偵役と被害者役。でも探偵である自分が真っ先にコロコロするんで、誰が自分を殺したか結局誰もわからねえっす。
Okay.
プロイ、待ってくれ。それには聞き覚えがある。プロイって何なんだ？
何なんだと言われても困るっす。エロいとか役いいとかの最上級じゃないっすか。
What? Eroi? Thusly, the conversation began between the two most powerless residents in the Kawanji estate. Humankind and birdkind able to understand one another after all. Sojo was tired of letting the bird get to him, really worried that ignoring it took more energy than it was worth. Filled with a sense of resignation, by the time he finally did make an attempt to interject, both parties' guards were firmly down. Sojo was focused on how rare the bird was. While Robin was focused on his showdown with his rival, that was to be unlimited at all costs.
いいっすよ、細けいことは。そんなことよりマイ天使アリスさんの話をするっす。
Okay.
なんと、アリスって天使なのか？
Okay. It was an impressive sign of progress that he did not need to ask what an angel was.
ヒユっす。自分にとって天使のような存在ってことっす。下界の喧騒とか自分の言葉をガン無視するところとかマジ天使。
Maji
アリス
Tenshi.
さんは神聖不可侵にして冷酷非道。マイ女神であったところの母君とはちょっと毛色が違うっす。正直母君ちょっと育て方間違ったっすね。
そうか。そりゃアリスにもお母さんはいるんだよな。この家にはいないようだけど。
イエス。悲しいことに見まかられたっす。あの頃は前衛の鳥が鳴いたっす。アリスさんに負けないぐらい美しかったっす。後でアルバムとか見るっすか？6ペンスで手を打つっすよ。
Roku Pens.
いや、そういうのは本人の許しがないと。
I want it. Alright. Sojo said earnestly as he tilted his head. The reason for his unease was also due to the fact that he had grown more interested in Alice than before. Despite his detached and passive attitude, he was still a young man like any other, after all. What does that mean? He likes Alice.
イエス。それはそうっすね。お前シャバ像の割にいいこと言うっす。人の過去花とかみだりにしちゃいけないっす。ところでアリスさんの子供時代の話とかしていいっすか？自分シャバ像の知らねえアリスさんを赤裸々にアピールして精神的上位に立ちたいっす。
あ、いや、だからそういう話は。
安心しろっす。
うん
アリスさんには黙っておいてやるっすから。まずはあれっすね。自分とアリスさんが初めて出会った時のメモリーを聞くっすよ。アリスさんああ見えて友達一人しかいなかったっすから、もっぱら自分が話し相手っつうか。ほら壁相手にカコーンカコーンってピンポン玉打ち返すゲーム、あんな感じっす。アリスさんのメモリーはおよそ14年分。じゃあ1年目から行くっすよ。
いや、だから。
Okay.
もう誰も自分を止められないっす。
I hope they keep this bird in the movie. I like this bird a lot. The bird was trouble. The word bird brain had taken a whole new meaning to Sojiro. If he was stuck here listening any longer, he had the feeling he might hear something he would not be able to unhear.
すまない。そろそろいいかな。
With a wave of his hand, he attempted to flee to the attic above the second floor.
待つっす。ここからがいいところなのになんで猿っすか。スカーレット・オハラっすか。激動の主人公気取りっすか。そのあたり自分なんか納得いかないっす。まだうちに入ったばかりの新参者がなんでアリスさんの視点を独り占めしてるっすか。許せないっすけど、その秘訣を教えてほしいっす。切実に。自分本気出したらすごいっすよ。
何？
Nasa's really good at making mascots. Halfway up the stairs already, Sojiro quickly retraced his steps.
君、今のはどういう？
だからアリスさん好きあらばお前を見てるっす。
Whoa. What does that mean?
思い出したっすよ。そもそも自分熱視線でサーチされてるからって突き上がるなと釘刺しに来たんす。
Huh?
だいたいその字は何度も自分に助けられてるっす。アリスさんの命令がなかったら今頃その字鏡の中でおだぶつっす。これなんすかね。人間の感情とかわかんないっすけど、魚辺に佐渡とか書くっすかね。
助けられてるって俺が？
まあ殺そうとしてるのもアリスさんっすけどね。アリスさんはこう言ったっす。彼が鏡の中に迷い込みそうになったら助けてあげて、危険なものには近寄らないように誘導もしてあげて。でも思い上がらないことね、しずきくん。別にあんたのことが心配なわけじゃ。
Well, is that Alice? Oh, so that's why the bird keep pecking him to save his life. It happened in a flash. With a swift, unhesitating strike of hand, Alice squashed the birds right then and there as it sat on the telephone receiver stand on the foyer. He pressed calm. Her pressed calm palm continued to pin it down. The bird crushed form resembled a bright rubber ball, like what a child might play with.
アリスさんくらいっす。そして痛い。体中の血液がくちばしからこう右方向に流れていく感覚とか。
The bird raised a mighty uproar.
これの言うことは気にしないで。
Okay. Anything you say, Alice. Alice returned to the drawing room, taking the bird with her. Her dark silhouette, cloaked in shadow, was the complete opposite of the gaudy little bird. Soichiro folded his arm as he stood alone, no less confused than before, and whispered,
こうしてますます疑問は増えていくのだった。
Indeed. Up at the night sky visibly through the skylight. That's it. I did it. That was chapter 7. I got a trophy. Damn, dude. Holy shit. That was half the game. Oh, crap. That was chapter 7, dude. 32%? How many people have played this? 40%! So everyone skipped chapter 7? What the fuck? Do they not know? Why did they skip chapter 7? That's weird. How many people beat the game? 12. 30%. Chapter 8. Chapter 12, last one, 38%. So 6% skip chapter 7? Alright. Whatever. Yeah, man, I'm halfway through the game. Yeah, this is more slice of life than anything so far. We'll see what the other second half was. The second half might be actiony. We'll see, I guess. Anyway, GG's, GG's. We'll play more Witch of the Holy Night Mohoyo next time. GG's, GG's, GG's. Let me also do this. You're a Gaichi. Alright. Don't want to do extra. That's what archive means. What's CG? Dang, man. That witch night was pretty long. And it's got a little bit shorter. Well, it has a lot of CGs. Are we really halfway through the game? Oh. 14. Well, I guess we are. Holy shit. Okay. That's it. Alright. What time is it? It's midnight. I don't have anything to talk about. Yeah, I think yeah, Mohoyo is pretty slow. Very slow. I can see why the movie might be 2 hours. They could like skip a lot, to be honest. The Bluebird Neck arc is gonna have their own scenarios. The mascots, the Type Moon. Mascots. Dude, I'm hungry as fuck, dude. Oh man. I haven't been eating well for the last 3 days. Cause I keep failing at making food. I tried making my own nachos, it didn't went well. And then I tried making my own burrito. I got sick of eating burritos. And now I have like frozen patties and it's not that good. I think I should have just bought hot dogs. Or maybe, whoa, what the fuck is this? What is this? Ryza Attilia free scenario type AI chat RPG to launch in August? A personal summer dream unfolds with a conversation with Ryza. All assets handcrafted by humans. Trained on the original game full scenarios and settings. A video of Ryza voice actress Yuri Noguchi playing this game. What does this mean? Oh my god. What the fuck does this mean? Is this AI? AI chat RPG? What does that mean? I can talk to thick thighs, never lie. But you can barely see her thighs. I can talk to Attilia or Ryza. Oh. I like this costume. The costume's not bad. She's pretty. They did a really good job with this character design. She's the prettiest one, right? I like Ryza, man. Thick thighs never lies. How did we get to this point? I just opened Twitter. That's pretty much it. You know, I bought that game because thick thighs never lie. I played the game and it sucked. Yeah, it didn't suck. It's just not my cup of tea. I played it for 10 hours though. I tried to give it a chance, but I was like, damn man, her thick thighs can't carry the game. So, damn dude, I'm 20 hours into the game of Mohoyo. Holy fuck, what happened in 20 hours? I really don't remember anything that happened besides the Kissy Land arc. Oh. Dude, Mihoyo is really slow. I think that's why I don't really like it. Compared to Tsukihime Remake and Stay Night, this is a really slow visual novel. I don't know if it's gonna get actiony. I'm assuming so, but let's see. It's a really, really slow burner. 20 hours already. Dude, how the fuck do I play this? And do I need to pay? This is my chance to finally brush up my Japanese. Ego ga hanasamasu. I'm gonna ask her that. That's my first question to her. If she say yes, I'm fucking in there, bro. I'm in there. She say yeah. I'm like, oh, you do? Okay. You speak English? Hell yeah. I mean, she has to. She's AI. Why can't she? No news? Alright. No news here too, right? I kinda wanna play this. I do like horror stuff. The Famicom horror is pretty good. What's Kevin talking about? I'm so hungry. Damn, man. I'm too hungry to think about shit. I got nothing to talk about. And so, I will end the stream. It's midnight. I got work tomorrow. And it's a Monday. Excuse me. Nope, never mind. It's Tuesday. Anyway, appreciate everyone that stopped by. It's been cool. We'll play more Mihoyo next time. Anyway, have a good night. Later. Bye.